What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me here on the podcast tonight. This is Smackdown Live right here on Off the Script. It is Tuesday, May 21st, 2019. We are going to go over everything that happened on Smackdown Live. Not a very good show by any means. Typical WWE garbage, as always. Nothing very exciting, but we did get a big, notable return in the return of Dolph Ziggler. There is a reason why he is back. I'm going to give you my thoughts on what I think of him returning. And is it really going to make a difference on WWE television? I don't think so. We're going to go over that and him challenging Kofi Kingston in Saudi Arabia for the WWE Championship at Super Showdown. Also, Becky Lynch and Bayley, they teamed up tonight against the big-breasted blonde experience in Charlotte Flair and Lacey Evans. Or is it Lacey Evans and Charlotte Flair? I can't fucking tell, man. They're both tall, they're both blonde. Vince McMahon pitching a tent at gorilla position all night. Just at the thought of these two teaming up tonight. Make them a fucking tag team. I could go for that. I could definitely go for that. And it would fit the bill. Who's going to stop them? We'll talk about that as well. Plus, Big E. Big E returned tonight, and he was attacked on SmackDown Live, and we can only assume that it was one Kevin Owens who attacked Big E. I would have done it much differently, but this is WWE Creative we're talking about. They don't have a single brain cell between 37 fucking riders. Oops. I'm sorry. I went against my promise, man. I'm sorry, guys. I was supposed to not zing you anymore, and I was supposed to not talk badly about you guys. It's all the old man. I know. Please, continue writing your bullshit shows. Go ahead. That you are not going to get your ideas on. And Vince McMahon, being that Monday Night Raw was hectic and chaotic last night, the show was being written well into the first hour. Nothing new to me. Nothing new to me at all. It's crazy, man. You don't hear these things about SmackDown Live. You don't hear any of those things in the rumors about SmackDown Live. You never hear, oh, well, SmackDown Live was still being written into the 9 o'clock hour. Why is that? Why is it always Raw? Why? And you could tell, you could see, you could feel it. You know something like that's happening just by watching the shows. So, anyway, we'll talk about that on Friday. I got a whole bunch of news and notes coming out of Money in the Bank and Monday Night Raw. But we're going to talk about everything SmackDown Live tonight, as always, right here on the podcast. Make sure you guys follow me on social media, man. At JD from NY206, both on Twitter and Instagram. Now, this is very important. I'll be in Las Vegas on Thursday afternoon. If you guys want to be up to date on everything I'm doing, get IG stories, in real-time videos from StarCast, what craft beer that I found, that I fell in love with in Las Vegas, who I'm hanging out with, might be a few guests. You never know, man, a few surprises. Social media is key, both on Twitter and Instagram. JD from NY206 on both Twitter and Instagram. Please make sure you guys hit that subscribe button down below and turn on that bell for all notifications. And if you guys want to support the podcast on Patreon, patreon.com/JD from NY206. Thank you guys so very much for all your support on the Patreon page. It's optional. If you guys want to show your appreciation, it's the only way to get exclusive content not available on YouTube, man. So thank you guys so very much. If you guys missed anything that I uploaded this week, including Monday Night Raw, you guys can certainly go back and check all that stuff out. Off the Script talked about the morale in WWE, Triple H frustrated with Vince, All Elite Wrestling, the TV deal on TNT, major spoiler for Jon Moxley at Double or Nothing, Pac, Neville, his slave name in WWE, quits AEW, removed from Double or Nothing's card, Adam Page and Pac, no more. And WWE is a joke. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Dolph Ziggler should incorporate some of Monday Night Raw into his comedy shtick. I'm sure it'll go over like fucking crazy. So if you guys missed any of that, hit that annotation, that little I, drop it down. Everything you need is right there if you did miss it. Audible. Sponsored tonight by Audible, audibletrial.com/offthescript. Make sure you guys use our unique link at the bottom of the page there, audibletrial.com/offthescript. 30 days free of their service, and as a thank you for signing up, you will get one free audiobook of your choice. You go to the link, You enter in your billing information. You will not be billed. You're going to download the app on your iPhone or Android device. You're going to get 30 days free of their service. They're going to give you an option of one free audio book. Over 200,000 choices to choose from, a lot of which are wrestling related. So if you guys want to do that, you can. And if you feel like Audible's not for you, you can cancel it anytime on day 1, on day 7, or on day 30. And you know what? You're still going to get to keep your audiobook for free. audibletrial.com/offthescripts. SmackDown Live started off with something I genuinely do not give a single solitary fuck about. Elias, Shane, and Roman Reigns. And to know that this was the main event on this show, man, as soon as Roman Reigns' music hit, I got up off my couch. I sat right here to do the podcast tonight, and I didn't watch one fucking move in that match. I did not. I refused to watch the main event of tonight's show. So whatever happened at the end of SmackDown Live, I don't give a shit. I wasn't there to watch it. So Shane McMahon was backstage on the phone. Elias comes walking in. Shane ended the call as soon as he seen Elias. Elias was all nervous and stammering about. And he said he had Roman Reigns where he wanted him. And Shane then says that you had the crowd calling you names. And, you know, Elias is explaining to him how that affected him. Elias says he's an artist in touch with his emotions, and he wasn't where he needed to be when Reigns tossed him around the ring like that. He told Shane that he and his family deserve better. Elias says he'll be there for him at Super Showdown when he faces Reigns. Shane then said he doesn't need anyone in his corner. He'll take care of Reigns himself. Shane told Elias he will be in his corner tonight, though, when he goes one-on-one with Roman Reigns. I wouldn't know because I didn't fucking watch it. Elias smiled and thanked Shane and walked away. There you go. I don't know, man. Every single situation it looks like that Elias is in, it seems like they put him down every single time. It's like WWE is pretty much telling you without actually saying the words, Elias is a loser. Elias is a loser. That's all he is. He's got a cool gimmick. It could be so much more than what it really is right now. And WWE refuses to give this guy any credibility whatsoever. He's nothing more than a novelty act. And I just don't find it entertaining anymore. You can't really harp on me for that because the guy is presented in such a way where WWE doesn't give a shit about him. They present him in a way in which it speaks to me as if he's expendable. And there's nothing important about him. He's a fucking lackey. He tags along with Shane McMahon. He's tagging along with everybody else in whatever situation that he's in. He's not a leader. He's not a leader. They always put him with somebody else. And all I ever wanted, I don't want it anymore because I don't give a shit what they do with him. All I ever wanted was Elias to come into his own and be something special. He's just a fucking novelty act with a guitar that shits on all the fans for cheap heat. That's all he is. That's all he is. I can't buy into that. It's watered down. It's really just outplayed. The whole gimmick is just there. It's really a bathroom break segment now. Anything that he says isn't even original anymore. It's all the same shit. I mean, the man even released a fucking album based on what he does in the ring. It's ridiculous. I don't find any interest in Elias whatsoever, and I don't think I ever will. And if WWE wants to get behind him, it's going to be too little too late. Too far damaged for me to even give a shit at all. New Day comes on out. Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods dance their way to the stage. Kofi said tonight was a very special night. Xavier said tonight is Big E's return after 6 weeks away. It's like he's been gone for 6 years. Throwing this guy a fucking party. He's been gone for 6 fucking weeks. He's got presents and bows and fucking balloons. I don't know. Xavier said tonight is Big E's return after 6 weeks away. Xavier let out some weird-looking individual. This skinny-looking guy dressed like Big E. He's wearing the robe. He's wearing the fucking outfit. And then he's got ashy knees. So, this guy was out there. No name was given. They knew this wasn't Big E. They made fun of his ashy knees. Xavier Woods says he looked like Big E. And if it was Big E, left in the dryer a little bit too long, as if he shrunk. The guy threw some pancakes and then went to the back, and then out comes the real Big E. I don't see why this was necessary. I didn't fucking laugh at this shit. I didn't find any of this entertaining, and I was questioning, why didn't Big E just immediately come out? Anyway, we could have avoided all of this. WWE tries to be funny, and they fail. I appreciate when someone is not trying to be funny, and it comes off as funny. I appreciate it a little bit more. This was just trying too hard. So Big E comes on out, he does his intro, and they all got into the ring. They did their over-the-top bullshit. Big E smelled Xavier's hair, says it was nice to smell his hair. He's smelling underneath Kofi's armpit. Says it's great to smell Kofi's armpit. Xavier said Big E is medically cleared to sniff, but not to wrestle. Big E smelled Kofi's armpit again and then smiled and says he misses his boys. Xavier said Big E had been crushing it on Twitter. Xavier and Big E talked about how fine Becky Lynch's mother really is. I didn't really get a glimpse at Becky Lynch's mother. Can someone fill me in and tell me if Becky's mother is really a MILF? I didn't really keep up on all the tweets that Big E had going on with Becky and Becky's mother. So someone please fill me in the comments. Kofi said everyone wants him to be serious now. And the way he said it, I feel like it was a dig at those people saying that, well, now he's a WWE champion and here he is still throwing fucking pancakes. That's just the vibe I got and the tone of voice that he used. Well, listen, guys. Everybody wants me to be serious now. Everybody wants me to be serious. So we brought up Brock Lesnar becoming Mr. Money in the Bank. People booed. Xavier then said, more importantly, Kofi KO'd KO to retain his title at Money in the Bank. Big E then was there dancing and doing whatever he does. And out comes Kevin Owens to the stage. Then came Sami Zayn. So we had Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens on stage. I don't like this because, A, we've seen it so many fucking times already that it's not even special anymore to see Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens together. I also don't like this because there's no continuity. On Monday Night Raw, first of all, let's go back to even before Monday Night Raw. At Money in the Bank, Sami Zayn was embarrassed. Actually, let me go back to Monday Night Raw on the Go Home show. He took Braun Strowman's place in Money in the Bank. He beats him in a Falls Count Anywhere match with the help of Drew McIntyre and Baron Corbin. Goes to Money in the Bank, takes Braun Strowman's spot, and he is about to compete for a shot at the briefcase and hopefully get the briefcase to become the number one contender for said championship of his choice. He doesn't make the Money in the Bank ladder match. He's hanging upside down at Money in the Bank. Someone attacked him in the backstage area, leaving a spot open. Comes to Monday Night Raw, loses to Braun Strowman in a minute. And then again on SmackDown Live, we see him here dabbling in something completely different. This is the wild card rule, folks. This is what I don't like about the wild card rule. Everything that Kofi was doing, or everything Sami was doing, rather, he's doing on Monday, and then Sunday, and then Monday again, and then come Tuesday, he's doing something completely different. There's no continuity at all. I don't know how anybody could be invested in something if this is going on Monday and this is going on Tuesday. It just doesn't make sense. It feels like it's all over the place. I want individuals to be in a certain something and stick to that certain something and not be put into a feud here and a feud there and a situation over there. They're really taking advantage of this and they're watering down literally everything as far as where these guys are going and what they're doing. Nothing seems or feels important anymore. So that's the way I was thinking about Sami Zayn coming on out. He complained that he was gone for 6 months, but didn't get a welcome back segment like Big E. New Day sang that he gets nothing. Xavier said, because you suck. KO turned and left. He was completely fed up with everything. Sami and KO lost only because he was distracted that his best friend was beat up and hung upside down. He said tonight's whole celebration is disgusting. He says there are people in the crowd doing their hip swivels and pancakes and cereal, and they want the pancakes and cereal from the New Day. He said fans should be taking accountability for creating a toxic culture. WWE should be taking accountability for creating a toxic program on Monday and Tuesday nights. Seriously. It's toxic. Xavier interrupted him with his trombone and did not allow Sami to speak. Sami was irritated at this point. Sami said their night won't end in fun because he's going to beat Kofi in front of his little friends and the trashy people in the crowd. He said when he's done, they'll be lucky to be walking at all. Kofi told Sami not to let the smiles and hip swivels and pancakes fool him. When it's time to throw down, we throw down. I do agree with him on that. The New Day, I've always said it. When they want to be funny, they could be funny. But when they get serious, it is very difficult to find three guys like Big E, Kofi, and Xavier Woods. He said not only are they going to walk out on his own, or their own rather, but they're going to walk straight through him. And then Big E then started a New Day Rocks chant. So there you go. Pretty basic segment to open the show. We got the back and forth between Sami and Kofi for their match later. Pretty academic. Nothing more than that to open the show on SmackDown Live. Backstage, Drake Maverick is asking Carmella if she's seen R-Truth. He handed her a wanted poster with truth on it. She asked Apollo Crews. He didn't know either. She then came upon a guy in a blonde wig, which was clearly R-Truth. And I just find it funny that of all the colors that R-Truth was wearing, he was wearing a blonde wig. Whether he was just wanting to look like Carmella, or it was just a mere coincidence that WWE's favorite color is blonde. So R-Truth was standing there. She yelled, "Truth!" And he's like, "It didn't work, huh? How did you know?" He was carrying around the 24/7 title. Carmella said, "Everyone is looking for you." He was confused over what 24/7 meant. She asked him why he came to SmackDown. He didn't even need to be there. And he's there on SmackDown Live. Meanwhile, Mick Foley said on Monday Night Raw that the title will be defended in the third hour of Raw. We need to make Raw a little bit more raw. And it's going to be defended 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So Mick Foley said that. Meanwhile, he also said the title is only going to be defended on Monday Night Raw and in the third hour. And here R-Truth is on SmackDown Live with the 24/7 title. But Mick Foley did say that it's going to be open to all Raw and SmackDown and 205 Live rosters. So I don't know if that means that all those rosters are going to be on these shows, or Truth is going to be traveling to all these different brands throughout the week. I just hope to God we don't see R-Truth on NXT. I think that would be terrible. Keep that shit away from my NXT. So Carmella says everyone's looking for him. She asked why he came to SmackDown. He says he needs her help. And Carmella ran away with R-Truth while pulling down wanted posters on the wall that Drake Maverick was hanging up earlier in the day. Cheesy garbage. Completely cheesy garbage. Ali versus Andrade. They went over the fact that Andrade and Ali were in the Money in the Bank ladder match, and they showed highlights of the ladder match, and then Ali, they showed the highlight of Ali grabbing the briefcase legitimately and then freezing right at the top of the ladder in fear because Brock Lesnar was running down the ring. Really showed again how Ali looked like a complete fucking idiot just standing there when all he had to do was this and then this. Ridiculous. So we got Ali versus Andrade, both guys wearing kinesio tape to sell their injuries from the Money in the Bank ladder match. And this one went 12 minutes. I am going to be honest with you. This was a good TV match, and these guys have incredible chemistry. But man, putting a advertisement in the middle of a match like this, it really takes me out of the match completely. Like, I was in it for the first 2 or 3 minutes that they had, and then they went to a 6-minute commercial, and then we get 3 more minutes at the end, and by that time, I'm completely out of it. I really am. I fucking hate the fact that matches like this have a break in the middle of it between two guys who can tell a great story, two guys that I legitimately want to see, and it's ruined by a fucking commercial. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. So, after the break, Andrade landed, or rather, Ali landed a satellite DDT. Andrade then kicked out. Ali was on the outside, and due to the offense of Andrade, he was nearly counted out. It was literally a 9 7/8. He rolled back in at a damn near 10 count. Andrade beat up Ali again at ringside, including ramming his back into the ring post, and Ali again beat the count before 10. Ali, I will tell you this, man. Ali is one of the best guys on the roster who sells. His selling job is fucking amazing. I think only Johnny Gargano in the WWE right now is a better seller than Ali and a storyteller. I think Johnny Gargano and Mustafa Ali are the two best storytellers in WWE right now as far as selling a beatdown. So Ali is great at what he does, man. He really goes all out to make what you're watching believable. So Ali beat the 10 count, and Ali surprised Andrade by beating the 10 count again. He was showboating. Small package for a 3 count. Saxton called the win a damn near miracle. So Ali, after the showboating and the double knees, Ali got a out of nowhere small package and beat Andrade Cien Almas in 12 minutes. Now, it's funny. There were reports that Andrade is on Vince McMahon's radar right now, as long as he speaks English and learns English. But it goes to show you how people are reporting how high WWE management is on Ali, but also at the same time Andrade. Look who won here. Ali. You might not like Ali. He might still be one of those guys that you're still trying to get to know, or he's growing on you. The guy is going to have a big future. They're not featuring him after Money in the Bank. First thing you see on SmackDown Live if they don't have big plans for him. And I honestly believe he was supposed to win the Money in the Bank briefcase until Brock Lesnar ruined all that. So Ali gets the win here, 12 minutes, and it was a good TV match. I just don't really like the fact that matches like this have such a long commercial break. I want to see these guys go, and I hope that they get a chance to go on a bigger stage where there's nothing stopping them. Backstage, Carmella was helping R-Truth to look fabulous in his blonde wig. He had the wig on. She was spraying some hairspray. He puts a Carmella cap on. So he was looking like Carmella. So tonight, the 24/7 championship had R-Truth, its champion, dressing in drag to try and thwart everybody else on the roster, or to try and disguise himself from the rest of the roster. Pardon me if I don't find this entertaining. I found this to be incredibly cringe. I found this to be unfunny, not entertaining in the least. It's just not funny to me. And it got worse. It got worse. Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville came out. It was Mandy Rose and Carmella. One-on-one match that stemmed from that situation at Money in the Bank where Mandy Rose, I guess, inadvertently hit Carmella in the knee, and it was all a storyline to play up that match, which looked real, but it really wasn't. R-Truth came out and danced with Carmella wearing the blonde wig and blue jeans, cut-off t-shirt, had a Carmella t-shirt showing his gut, and he was still wearing the 24/7 title. So, he was trying to disguise himself, realistically. He was trying to disguise himself, and yet he came out wearing the 24/7 championship. So, he kind of gave away his cover by wearing the belt on top of the cut-off t-shirt. I feel like if you found this funny, you are a simpleton. I didn't laugh at all at anything that these two did. So R-Truth was there with Carmella. This match didn't even matter. This match didn't even have an outcome because Deville distracted Carmella on the ring apron, so she yanked her into the ring and mounted her. Deville rolled out of the ring. Rose rolled up Carmella from behind for a 2 count. Carmella then sidekicked Rose in the face. Out comes Bo Dallas, Curtis Axel, Apollo Crews, and every other Titus Catering VIP, and they chased after R-Truth, who ran away with Carmella on his back, piggybacking her around the arena like a fucking circus. I think I seen Jinder Mahal out there, who, mind you, is a former WWE champion, and I seen Matt Hardy trying to keep up and chase everybody in this fucking conga line of stupidity. Again, I don't find this funny. This is not the show. This is not what the shows need at all. I'm not reiterating myself. This was absolutely fucking cringe. Cringe! How soon before all of this gets old? I don't understand the reasoning for this title. And people are telling me, JD, it's just like the hardcore title. Yeah, it's just like the hardcore title without the hardcore rules. It's just like the hardcore title when WWE had writers that knew how to be funny and script funny segments. This is modern day WWE, and you're expecting them to have the same type of fucking funny that they had back in the Attitude Era? What are you, mental? The hardcore title fit. And I said this yesterday, and people don't understand. The hardcore title fit into the overall mold of what they were doing. It fit into the overall mold of the Attitude Era. This does not fit in the landscape of where WWE needs to be. This is nothing more than WWE taking something and throwing it at the fucking wall, hoping it sticks. It's not gonna work. It's a desperate attempt to generate interest, and people coming back and telling me, oh, JD, it was some of the most highest viewed videos on WWE's YouTube channel. I don't give a fuck. Everything is high up in viewership in the first initial interest of something. How long before those numbers decline like everything else WWE does? Give me a break. This is fucking garbage. I don't get it. WWE needs to be serious. WWE needs to write good stories and get characters in these stories that we genuinely fucking care about. I'm not watching this show to fucking laugh. Seriously, I'm not watching this show to fucking laugh. I want to see competitive fucking matches that actually mean something. By that, I will be entertained. This is a concept that WWE just does not grasp. This is awful. Fucking awful. The booking of this is downright terrible. I don't believe I have to fucking sit here and tell you again. Saxton said the disguise didn't work. No shit. The title's not working. Saxton said Truth should drop Carmella and run. Of course, you would leave a woman at ringside and run. You suck, you sissy, says Corey Graves. Of course, because that's his woman. So obviously, he's going to defend his woman in the most non-aggressive way possible, without revealing too much. So that was that. Kayla Braxton interviewed Bayley. She said it was a brutal night on Sunday, but she'll do it all over again if she had to. She said she created her own opportunity on Sunday to make it impossible for anyone to doubt her again. Kayla asked what the difference between Bayley the champion and Bayley the hugger is. Bayley said she's past the hugs and wants everyone to bring their best. You can still be huggable, Bayley, but I like the direction that they're going in with Bayley, and she certainly deserves an opportunity. The only thing I did not agree with is the fact that WWE, usually with the Money in the Bank briefcase, and I don't know, I haven't read any reports where WWE is kind of souring on the Money in the Bank gimmick. There's got to be a reason why they initially go right for the cash-in. The only thing I didn't like about Bayley winning the Money in the Bank is the fact that they honestly have 12 months of storyline that they could really build up. It doesn't necessarily need to go 12 months, but they got a decent amount of storyline there that they pretty much have fall right into their lap. Simple. They just got to book a creative way, book intriguing television. And WWE ran through so many months of storytelling and angle in 30 minutes on Sunday night. And we've seen the same thing last year with Alexa Bliss. So it's not like it's something new. WWE did the same thing in back-to-back years for the women. That's the only thing I did not agree with as far as Bayley winning the Money in the Bank. I would have went with somebody else. I actually went with Mandy Rose. I wanted Ember Moon to possibly win it, but I'm not going to sit here and tell you Bayley is the wrong choice. Bayley is just like Sasha Banks. That woman has been creatively misused worse than anybody. She's right up there with Sasha Banks. So the simple fact that Bayley won this thing and is the SmackDown Live Women's Champion, I'm not going to shit on that. Everybody deserves another opportunity, and Bayley certainly deserves another opportunity to show that she's not just a cast-off and that she could overcome all this. I do think that her winning the title is a big fuck you to Sasha Banks, and I still think that even now, on Tuesday, following Money in the Bank. So Bayley says that there's no more hugs, and she wants everybody to bring their best. Good. That's the Bayley I want to see. Competitive, with the nature of the fucking title being the most important, and I want you to go out there and fucking be the Bayley I seen in NXT. That's all we could ask for. I am not going to argue any of that whatsoever. They cut back to they cut back to R-Truth. They were running to the car. They cut back to R-Truth and Carmella trying to escape out the back door. They were screaming, and they ran back and down the hall. The circus of mid-carders were chasing down R-Truth and Carmella. Brian Kendrick, Noam Dar were there. Clowns. They're all fucking clowns. Noam Dar, a fucking consummate professional who was just challenging Pete Dunne not too long ago for the UK Championship. Here he is running down the fucking hallway like a fucking circus freak, chasing an irrelevant title. It's ridiculous. So, they tried to escape the building, and then that's the last we've seen. This was an ongoing thing throughout the fucking show. Kofi Kingston versus Sami Zayn. This was a damn good match. It went 8 minutes. It was pretty good. I love Sami Zayn, but Sami Zayn always ends up with a fucking loss. Kofi Kingston wins here in 8 minutes, and we seen Big E on the ground clutching his knee before this match actually happened. So this took Xavier Woods out of it. Now, Big E, who was on the ground clutching his knee, said it was Kevin Owens. So he did say it was Kevin Owens. Xavier, obviously it would be Kevin Owens because that would take Xavier out of the equation, who's usually out there with Kofi. And he didn't want Sami to be all on his own. So he took out Big E, knowing that Xavier's going to tend to Big E. So that leaves Sami and Kofi one-on-one, or at least it would give him an advantage to go out there and help Sami if he needed it. But we didn't see Kevin Owens. So this match went 8 minutes. Sami Zayn loses here as he gets hit with a Trouble in Paradise. Sami threw Kofi into the steps on the outside and then was just foolishly jumping up and down, trying to celebrate, mocking Kofi Kingston. Then Phillips said Big E pointed the finger at KO. Kofi took control again. They went to a commercial. Phillips said Big E was taken to a local medical facility in Providence. Kofi eventually finished off Sami with a Trouble in Paradise. Kofi wins in 8 minutes. Good TV match. Really nothing more to it other than Big E getting injured here by the hands of Kevin Owens. And I'm going to go and talk about what happened next, because this was the biggest part of the entire night. And then I'm going to revert back to Big E and tell you how WWE should have booked this entire thing, because a lot of people were talking about this being a heel turn for Big E or the New Day on Kofi Kingston. And I didn't really think that was going to happen here tonight, but if WWE wanted to plant the seeds for it, they certainly could have made things interesting. Paul Heyman walked out with the Money in the Bank briefcase and taunted Kofi with it as if he was going to open it. People were questioning. Phillips was questioning. Graves was questioning. Is Brock Lesnar here? So Dolph Ziggler, out of nowhere, jumps the barricade and attacks Kofi Kingston. He puts his head in a chair and threw him into the announce desk. He wrapped his legs around the turnbuckles and did what looked to be a modified Boston Crab through the turnbuckles, or where the turnbuckle is, underneath the bottom turnbuckle, and he just pulled back. It looked brutal. Trainers came out to check on Kofi. Graves says that there are many ways to make a statement without endangering someone's career, and the crowd was completely taken out of it. Nobody expected Dolph Ziggler to be there. I like that. I appreciate that. It was one of those things that was completely out of the blue. You did not expect any of this to be happening on SmackDown Live. When people realized it was Dolph Ziggler, that's when things really took it's just Dolph Ziggler turn. Doesn't really matter to me. It's fucking Dolph Ziggler. The guy's a fucking loser. So, they tried to cart Kofi Kingston out on a stretcher. He was rolled up the ramp, got off the gurney, and he walked out on his own to a standing ovation. So, Dolph Ziggler is back, and at this point in the night, I was questioning, well, I am okay with this. I will be okay with this if we get the why. This is what I was thinking. If we get the why here, I will be okay with this. It's a fresh matchup. Dolph Ziggler is one of the best wrestlers that they have on the roster. And a match with Kofi Kingston for the WWE Championship, if booked in the right way, could be interesting. But then again, it's Dolph Ziggler. Is 6 months removed from WWE enough time to forget about Dolph Ziggler? The answer is no. 6 months was not a long time. Dolph Ziggler, the simple fact that Dolph Ziggler is staying with the WWE is all the answer you need. The simple fact that Dolph Ziggler is staying with the WWE is never going to get rid of that bad taste in your mouth that is Dolph Ziggler. I'm sorry, that's the God's honest truth. 6 months being away is not going to make you forget all the fucking bullshit that Dolph Ziggler had to go through when we as a community, as a fan base, wanted nothing more for that man to be where he should be, based on his skill and ability. It's not enough. It's not enough. So excuse me for not really being sold on the idea of Dolph Ziggler. I wanted to know why. 6 months, you come back. It's got to be a fucking reason. And I have every right to ask why. Remember Dolph Ziggler being in the Royal Rumble after giving up the United States Championship as if nothing fucking mattered? We never got an explanation as to why he just relinquished the United States Championship. Then he shows up at the Royal Rumble. Nothing. So excuse me for asking why. Now, I said if we got the why, I'd be okay with it. Because I like a vicious, brutal, vindictive Dolph Ziggler. It's who he is. He plays it well. And he's great on the microphone. Now, what I would have did here, the thing that I was thinking about, and I texted a few people what I was thinking here. A lot of you might not remember that Big E, upon his WWE debut, was placed with Dolph Ziggler. When Dolph Ziggler cashed in his Money in the Bank briefcase, Big E was there. So was AJ Lee. They were a trio. I pieced the puzzle together, and I'm thinking creatively, and at this point, I'm giving WWE too much thought, or too much credit, rather, and I'm thinking too much and putting too much thought into this. What if, at this point in the night, if Dolph Ziggler was sent out there to attack Kofi Kingston? What if the storyline was Big E went down and pulled a big Cass? He played injured, he played possum, not really hurt, to drive the attention of Xavier Woods directly to him. Meanwhile, Dolph Ziggler goes out there and attacks Kofi Kingston, and this is all a master setup, a red herring, I should say, to break up the New Day and turn Big E heel. Because I honestly think that the petals are falling off the fucking rose here with Kofi Kingston. Sooner rather than later, he's losing that WWE Championship. You need to understand that. Kofi is not holding the title. He's not holding the title the rest of the year. He's not going to be the WWE Champion going into October on Fox Sports. I'm being generous when I say that I'll give him till SummerSlam. I'm being incredibly generous. But what if WWE actually used some fucking creativity here and played off the history of Dolph Ziggler and Big E to turn Big E heel and align Ziggler with Big E and attack Kofi Kingston? Certainly out there. Certainly a plausible fucking idea. Would have definitely made intriguing fucking television. WWE didn't do that, though. WWE did not do anything close to that. And we will find out what happened with all of this a little bit later on in the evening. But I enjoyed this for what it was. It was out of nowhere. It was shocking. Not really shocking, but it was something that we did not expect. I appreciate those moments. You rarely get to see those moments on WWE TV. So the simple fact that it's Dolph Ziggler, though, left a bad taste in my mouth. And I'm being completely honest with you, and I know there are people out there who agree with me 1,000%. If the man went to AEW, and I mean this wholeheartedly, he's not going to AEW. If the man went to AEW and did not re-sign with the WWE with whatever he re-signed for, if he went somewhere else and made a mark somewhere else and then decided to end his career back in the WWE, we would be a little bit more welcoming to Dolph Ziggler. We would have welcomed him back a little bit better than what we did tonight. But the simple fact is, yes, Ziggler is great. He's great in the ring. He's great on the microphone. He's going to bring a great match out of Kofi Kingston. But the simple fact that Dolph Ziggler was away for 6 months, it's like he never went away. He never went away. The bad taste of Dolph Ziggler is still in our mouths. So seeing him tonight, yeah, it was different, and it was out of nowhere. We didn't expect it. But what is it really? It's the same shit. It's nothing more than the same shit. I don't expect them to book Dolph Ziggler any differently. I don't expect them to look at Dolph Ziggler in a different way. It's fucking Dolph Ziggler. The man should have been multi-time world champion by now. And that's exactly the case that he was trying to make. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Moving on. Lacey Evans and Charlotte versus Becky Lynch and Bayley. Before the match actually happened, Kayla interviewed Becky Lynch backstage. She asked what her state of mind is. Now that she lost one of her titles, she said she doesn't feel good without her blue belt. She said if someone is going to walk around with it who didn't beat her, she says it's glad it's Bayley. She wasn't very enthusiastic when she said this, though. Bayley walked in and says, by the sound of that, I get where you're coming from. She said she likes the sound of Bayley 2 belts, though. Bayley wants all the gold now. Becky said she'd shake her hand, but she can't guarantee she wouldn't drop her. Becky said when they're done teaming, she's coming after the title. Bayley smiled and says she wouldn't have it any other way. Becky Lynch and this ring entrance that they got going on, the first woman to main event WrestleMania and beat Ronda Rousey, and the first women to win the Raw and SmackDown Live Women's Championships. That shit's gotta fucking end. She is the Raw Women's Champion, and that is it. Stop piggybacking off WrestleMania. It is not doing Becky Lynch any favors. This match went 9 minutes. I didn't really give a shit about anything that happened here, but Bayley and Becky won in 9 minutes. Becky went for a disarm her on Charlotte. Lacey interfered with a woman's rights. Bayley entered and knocked Lacey out of the ring. Charlotte tried for the figure 4. Bayley quickly broke that up, and Bayley turned that into an inside cradle for a 3 count. Bayley made a quick exit, and that was it. Charlotte was complaining. Lacey Evans was upset, and Becky and Bayley looked on in a respectful way, but it was also in a way of, bitch, I'm taking my title back. Basic tag team match. The big-breasted blonde experience. I couldn't really tell who was who. They both looked the same to me. But if you want to put them in a tag team scenario and have them win the tag team titles, I would be all for that. I think that would be great. They would actually fit the mold, too. That's a perfect pairing right there. As far as Becky, I don't really understand why Becky needs to be on both shows. It's okay to have her on one show a week. But I don't understand why Becky needs to be on both shows. You're just trying too hard at that point. It's not like Becky is driving ratings. It's not like people are watching these shows for Becky Lynch. The more you give the fans Becky Lynch, the more that they're not going to want to see Becky Lynch. Monday was enough. Tuesday's a little overkill. You could have easily had Bayley versus Lacey Evans. Simple. You didn't need Charlotte. You didn't need Becky here. So I wish WWE at some point would cut back on the Becky and leave Becky off a show here and there. The one thing I was asking myself is, why is Becky booked again on Tuesday when we just seen her on Monday? Wrestling with the fucking Iconics. Tag team matches. Come on. Got to do better than that. Backstage, Jinder Mahal, who, by the way, is a former WWE champion. I just want to make sure you guys are aware of that. Jinder Mahal rolled up Truth backstage for a 2 count. More circus-like bullshit. Carmella then led him away. Truth was concerned about keeping on his wig. He's running, holding his fucking head. B-Team attacked Truth from behind. Bo made the cover. Curtis was like, bro, what are you doing? What are you doing? He yanked Bo off of Truth. And they argued. Then they started working together. Truth threw Curtis into Bo Dallas. And then Truth escaped with Carmella. Backstage, we had Sarah Schreiber. However you pronounce it. The new one. Not the Android. You guys see the interview with Chris Van Vliet and Dasha Bot, where she actually raised the situation of people calling her an android. She even did the whole fucking, I am an android. This is WWE. I thought it was great. Man, she has more personality. I swear to God, man, you got to go watch this interview with Chris Van Vliet. He did it, the interview with Dasha Fuentes, and she has more personality than I could have ever imagined. You're going to ask yourself, who the fuck is this? And where were you on my television? Unbelievable, man. I swear to God. Just go and watch it, man. She would not, I don't mean this in a negative way. She would not shut up. She overtook the entire interview. And I really didn't mind. I thought it was great. So go back and watch that. Nice little cheap plug for Chris. I hope to see him in Las Vegas for Double or Nothing weekend. So backstage, we had Sarah Schreiber ask Dolph Ziggler, the WWE Universe wants to know why you brutally attacked Kofi Kingston. Ziggler says he won't give her the answer, but he'll give it to all of them. So he takes her microphone, and he looks like he's going to break down any minute, like he's going to snap. So he makes his way to the stage, and I love the fact, attention to detail, I love the fact that they did not even play his music. He just walked out there, he walked through Gorilla with the microphone, he walked through the curtain, and boos. A chorus of boos. That is a moment that I appreciate. You're a fucking heel, you come out to address the audience, and you're met with fucking boos. There's no greater feeling than that. I love it. Stepped onto the stage and says he would boo himself too if he was in the crowd. Said he goes back all the way to Ali. He looks at Ali, Mustafa Ali. When Ali got hurt and Kofi got an opportunity, he stepped up and knocked it out of the park. But it should have been him. He said Kofi jumped through hoop after hoop and walked in and ran the gauntlet. He said it should have been him. His voice began to sound like he was about to cry. His eyes looked all red about, talking about what he said. And it looked like he was going to cry. He says, it should have been him. Should have been him. Talked about each step of Kofi's journey, ending with, it should have been me. Every situation he talked about, WrestleMania, winning the WWE title, defending the title, being the world champion, coming up from where Kofi has been over 10 years. It should have been me. Said every day since becoming champion, Kofi has outperformed every critic and has earned it, and they all respect and admire him. It should be me. His voice cracked as he said that's why he had to do what he did. He said, Super Showdown, he will beat Kofi for the WWE title because I have to. He said he'll become WWE champion and each of them will admire him and respect him and ultimately love him. That was pretty much the end of the show for me. I didn't really watch what happened with Roman Reigns and Elias. If you guys want the report on what happened with that match, I will gladly give it to you. I'm just not going to go over it because, quite frankly, I don't fucking care. This was a very simplistic way to go about getting Dolph Ziggler this storyline with Kofi Kingston. Now, the reason why Dolph Ziggler is getting a world championship match has nothing to do with what he did on TV. The simple fact that Dolph Ziggler is getting a world championship match in Saudi Arabia is because Kevin Owens can't make Saudi Arabia. I don't know if Sean Ross Sapp reported that he can't make it or he refuses to go. And WWE is letting him sit this one out. So they needed an opponent for Kofi Kingston, and in comes Dolph Ziggler. So where we were at the beginning of this show, when Dolph attacked Kofi, and all the promise that it had, and the angle that I just pitched to you, in which WWE could have made this creative and fun and fresh and new and exciting and give you a fucking reason to watch the show, it all became apparent as to why Dolph Ziggler was back on WWE television. Remember that bad taste I spoke about? With Dolph Ziggler being out for 6 months and then coming back and that bad taste is still there because we remember what WWE did to him? He's back simply because it's Saudi Arabia. He's back simply to collect a paycheck from Vince McMahon. That's it. Dolph Ziggler is not going to factor into any plans. Dolph Ziggler is not going to win the WWE Championship. He's not going to be a factor in the main event on SmackDown Live or Monday Night Raw. Dolph Ziggler is back because he's collecting a sweet Saudi paycheck from WWE. I can't get behind that. Granted, the guy is fucking great at what he does. Granted, the guy can speak his ass off on the microphone. Granted, everything that he said is fucking true. I'm not disagreeing with what Dolph Ziggler said. But the simple fact that you had something in the beginning of the show and then it was quite apparent as to why he was back, I can't get behind that. Gonna be a good match, but not something that I'm going to invest my time in, because I know after the match, everything that's happening now or that's going to happen in the next 2 weeks, it's not going to mean fucking anything. So excuse me if I'm not invested in what happened here. You can go on and like what you want. I'm telling you exactly what we've seen tonight, and I'm telling you why Dolph Ziggler is back on WWE television. Dolph Ziggler, if he went anywhere else and came back, he would have been a bigger deal. The fact that he's back and he's in the situation that he's in now, and it doesn't mean a Big E heel turn, and he's not going to factor into WWE Championship plans or a Big E heel turn, there's not going to be intriguing television on WWE for the next 2 weeks. The fuck do I care? This is a fucking house show. This is a house show. For 5 hours on June 7th. That means absolutely nothing. They're going there as circus animals to perform in front of people that don't give a fuck about them. And I'm supposed to sit here and express myself on how I feel about this shit, and then you guys tell me that I'm going way too far. I'm reaching. What am I reaching for? What am I reaching for exactly? I can't question why this is happening. I can't give you guys the exact reason as to why it's happening. Open your fucking eyes. I'm going to watch. I'm going to talk. I'm going to watch and see the good match that they're going to have because they're two great wrestlers. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I'm invested in what they're doing when I know it means absolutely nothing in the end. Why exactly is Dolph Ziggler getting a fucking title shot? Then people want to cite on Twitter when I brought this question up, this exact question up. Well, the same reason why Jericho is fighting Okada at Dominion. I'm not watching New Japan. Jericho could do whatever the fuck he wants. He's Chris Jericho. Dolph Ziggler's not an aging legend at the age of 50 who's trying to get in all the dream matches that he wants before he retires. I'm not watching that situation. I'm talking about WWE. Why exactly is Dolph Ziggler getting a fucking title shot when he was off TV for 6 months? He didn't do anything. Oh, he attacked Kofi Kingston. Kofi wants the shot. Okay. So Kofi's putting up the title. When's the title going up on the line? Oh, in Saudi Arabia. Oh, that's the reason why. That's the reason why. Yeah, Dolph Ziggler and everything that he says is 100% fact. It's truth. Everything he said was right on the money. It should have been me. Yeah, it should have been you. But it wasn't. Because WWE did not find Dolph Ziggler to be of any importance when he was a regular on WWE TV. Now you're back and now you want the shot because you grew up with Kofi in the WWE. You came up and found success at the same time. You went away. He got his time. Now you want your time because you think you deserve it. When is it happening? Saudi Arabia. Oh. So Dolph Ziggler's coming back and he's fighting for the WWE title in Saudi Arabia. Oh, okay. That's why he's coming back. Guys, you got to understand, I don't know how else to express myself to you. If you don't like what I'm saying, you know, the truth fucking hurts. It really does. You know, Sal Rex sent me something today, and I love this quote. I'm only responsible for what I say, not for what you understand. If you don't understand the words that are coming out of my mouth, I can't fucking help you. I really can't help you. You know, stemming from my Monday Night Raw review, and this is what I'm going to close with. Fucking, who won? Did Roman Reigns win? Roman Reigns wins in 10 minutes. Elias charges at Reigns with the guitar, but Reigns caught him with a spear. There you go. Who gives a shit? You know, a lot of people were calling me delusional. I had said something on Twitter today, which I meant every fucking word. People in the community are downright fucking nauseating. You all sicken me. You all sicken me because nobody really addresses and nobody attacks the situations like I do. And this is why I love what I do. People out there think, oh, I hate my job. Listen, I gave up. I gave up and took a chance. I gave up a steady job, a comfortable job that I fucking hated. And I took a chance on myself to be here, to do what I love. You think I hate talking about pro wrestling? Man, I love my fucking life and my job so much so that I can sleep till whenever the fuck I want. I don't have to answer to nobody. I'm being invited by StarCast to have media badges to go to fucking Double or Nothing. Man, I fucking hate my life. I fucking hate my life, man. I've called matches for Michael Elgin and Ricochet and the Undisputed Era and the Amazing Red and fucking Great Muta and Pentagon and Phoenix and Eddie Edwards and Moose. I hate my life, man. I fucking hate my life. And people don't understand that I do what I do here because I fucking care. All I want is a better product. But when you come and tell me that, you know, why are you so negative? If you don't like what you're watching, then don't watch. And all I have to say about that is, you're a fucking casual. You're a complete fucking casual who don't know any better and don't know anything about what WWE needs to do. You're there, you're a personality in the community, and you cater to your fucking childlike audience because you don't want to come off as a bad person. You want to please the 2K sponsors, and you want to do this, and you want to do that. And I'm not about that. I'm not about that. I attack things in a very honest way. I always go out of my way to be 100% with you guys. There's no sugarcoating anything here. There's no fucking walls up. What you see is what you get. When you meet me in person, everybody that's met me at a meet and greet knows exactly who I am. I'm the most genuine, down-to-earth, shy, calm individual you could ever meet. I'm not going to be doing Kevin Dunn. I'm not going to be fucking cursing. I'm not going to be throwing F-bombs. I'm not going to be fucking ranting and raving. I'm not going to be throwing my hands around like a fucking wild Sicilian that I am. No, I'm not going to be doing any of that. I'm not going to be doing any of that. I'm real. Where everybody else is attacking me, you're fake. You're fake. Continue to cater to your sissy audience and continue to lie to your audience because those are the only people that you have on your side. Everybody else, I find it a very, very good challenge to try and take people from their toxic ways of thinking about the product, and I like to conform people in a way in which, well, man, you know, JD just opened my eyes to everything, man. This is exactly what I've been watching, and I didn't realize. You know how many people come to me and tell me, man, you really opened my eyes. I've been a fan of the product for 30 years. And I had this one-track way of thinking. The way you break things down and the way you attack things, man, I really appreciate your honesty and the way you go about telling us exactly what we're watching, man. I take that to heart. I find nothing greater than hearing somebody tell me that. So when people say I'm delusional, and when people tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about, I'm fucking crazy, just get off the platform, man, I'm not even fucking at the tip of the iceberg, man. I'm not even at the fucking tip of the iceberg yet. I'm only just beginning. There's a reason why I do the numbers that I do. People appreciate honesty. All people want in today's world is honesty. If you're going to come to me and hide behind the fact of, well, if you don't like it, don't watch, you prove to me how fucking inferior you are to someone who legitimately knows what they're talking about. You prove how unintelligent you are. If you fail to realize what you're watching and explain that to your audience, if you want to code that and hide that with positivity for the sake of being positive because you're afraid of driving the little fan base you have away, You're not being true to that audience. If you think I'm delusional, great. Meanwhile, I'm looking at my fucking watch time for Monday Night Raw. Over 1 million+ minutes watched. Man, I must be fucking delusional. Really fucking delusional. Losing my mind delusional. For the fact that 1 million minutes of Monday Night Raw were watched on a podcast that I put together last night. Man, I really must be fucking delusional. Meanwhile, you're hanging on to every fucking word that I'm talking about. I'm done. Getting out of here. I needed to just let that out. I love what I do here, man. And if you don't like what I say here, you don't have to watch. But I know you will, because there's nobody else like me doing what I'm doing here. I will always be me, and I will always give you guys exactly what you need to hear. If I grow slower than others, so be it, as long as I'm true to myself. This is SmackDown Live, guys. Thank you so very much. I will be back for NXT as always. Oh, JD's always so negative. Not on Wednesdays, because we get a real fucking show on Wednesdays. We'll talk about NXT. We'll go over the NXT news for the week as well. And I'm going to be recording Off the Script a little early, man, because I'm flying out to Las Vegas on Thursday. So Off the Script will be uploaded, I believe, tomorrow. So we'll hit that and we'll talk about whatever happened at Money in the Bank, man. So look forward to all that. Great week coming up. Lots of content, lots of videos. It's going to be great. Hopefully an interview or two. Maybe a surprise guest that I run to in Las Vegas. We'll see, man. It's going to be a good time. And hopefully I meet you guys out there as well. Follow me on social media, man. At JD from NY206. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications. And Patreon. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. Audibletrial.com/offthescript if you guys want to support via Audible. 30 days free and a free audiobook just for listening to me tonight. And if you missed any of the other videos that I uploaded in the week, including Raw and Off the Script this past weekend, everything you need is in the top right corner of the screen. Parts 1, Parts 2, Parts 3, and Monday Night Raw for last night. I'm getting out of here, guys. Thank you so very much. Hit that thumbs up, and I will see you all for NXT right here on Off the Script. Until then, have a great night, and I will see you right back here for the best brand in all of WWE on Wednesday nights. I'll see you for NXT, guys. Talk to you later.